Hey Home Trees, it's Cory here. Just at the top of the episode, I wanted to let you know that we are switching things up a little bit these last two episodes. We felt like the Goodie Bag was just such a great finale and end to this epic journey that we've been on that we've decided to actually make that the very last episode that we will release. So enjoy the main episode today and then keep your ears open for the last episode next week. Enjoy.
Whichever our finale movies is your favorite, we can all agree every second of this show has been a blast.
It has.
Cory, drop that beat one last time.
This is done. Cut up, consider that a divorce.
Thank you for joining us on More Gooder Than, where we rate and dissect pop culture one last time. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Brayton, and I'm joined by my co-host, Cory Sasso.
What it is, Home Trees?
That's nice. We're still a little teary-eyed from the thing.
What it is.
And Donnie, the denouement car.
2019 is lit.
For those of you joining us for the first time here at MGT, it is also the last time. But Cory, Donnie, and I each take sides on a predetermined movie trio and try and sway the world to agree with our opinions on which one is most goodest. And today we have more trips down memory lane than we can handle emotionally. That's about it.
Yeah.
That's all we got. 3 years. 3 years of podcasting.
That's a significant portion of my life.
And it's come down to this, the final episode of Game of Thrones.
No episode. It is. The stars are all aligning.
Endgame.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones. Skywalker Saga. I'm sure there are other things that are ending.
And MGT.
And MGT.
We are on those levels.
We are on those levels on a pop culture podium.
Endgame, Game of Thrones, the United States as a nation.
Parabellum. We talked about Parabellum.
End of Wick, yeah.
End of Wick, yeah. And for this, we could have chosen from literally millions of movies. There are millions of movies out there that we could have chosen. We even talked about some of the ones that we could have chosen. Mm-hmm. We didn't choose those. We did not. We chose Roadhouse, Brick, and Rogue One so I can finally see a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
So who chose which one? Find out in this last corner. Cory, which of the movies that I have never seen did you pick?
Which one did I pick? Did I pick Roadhouse?
You picked Rogue One.
I picked Rogue One.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
The joke comes back from episode 1. You had to do it.
Yeah. I also was like, you know what? For the last one, I just want to watch something I really enjoy.
Rogue One.
I picked over a lot of different things that I could have chosen, but I wanted this show, this movie somewhere on this show.
Yeah.
So
I picked Roadhouse, not because it's the best movie ever, but because I want to hear what you guys say. That is it. That is all I want. And then I want you, by the end of it, you're going to be like, you know what? I'm going to watch it again.
No, I get it.
Yeah, I get it. Exactly.
Oh, I get to.
Do you get it?
No, I get it, Chris. I don't need you to explain.
Do you get it? Do you get
well,
it?
like, it's clear, like, a lot of, like, the references and things that you talked about over all these years about, like, one person owning an entire city and things like that. Like, that's where you're drawing it from.
I'm glad that
he's doing the get it thing from last week.
I'm glad that you've are of that sentiment, because now I won't feel bad, shitting all over your movie.
I want you to.
It was
I want
garbage.
I want you to crap on it, but then also acknowledge it. Like, yeah,
I'll acknowledge nothing.
It's so good. And then Donnie, of course, you picked
Brick.
Brick.
Brick was a weird
Thank you.
little indie. Well, it's Ryan Johnson's. Was it first movie?
It's his first movie. $450,000.
I hadn't heard of it.
That's it.
Whose first movie? The
Ryan Johnson.
Ryan Johnson.
Yeah.
CJ told me about it like almost like 10 years ago. I was like, yeah, it's on Netflix. I'll check it out. I really dug it. I feel like it's worth talking about on a show like ours. And I figured you guys hadn't seen it, so I wanted you to see it.
I have not seen it. I've
Never seen it. Never heard of it.
Yeah, I'm glad that you picked it so that I may talk about it. So sit back, relax. Remember how many times you've gone down this road with us.
That old town road.
That old town road. While we show you the goods.
It's good.
Hey, Donnie. You got one of our last 3 quickies ready, right?
Cookies?
Yeah, cookies.
Did somebody say cookies? Because I
won't.
don't have those. I have cookies.
Okay, shoot.
Okay. Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Basically Big Trouble in Little China minus the charm and fun. Roadhouse nevertheless deserves praise for its super progressive romance between Patrick Swayze and Dolph Lundgren.
Dolph Lundgren.
Play the doctor, right?
Yeah. Roadhouse. Very bad movie.
Awful.
Very, very, very bad movie.
Glad you said it.
But you will never forget it.
Here's the list of
You will
things.
never forget it.
Here's the list of things wrong with this movie.
Okay, go ahead.
1.
Yeah.
Double Deuce is a stupid name for a bar. That's that's what I call an exceptionally large shit.
Yes.
Like, oh
That's
man,
true.
I
And
just
that's
took a
supposed to
Double
be.
Deuce.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be.
2, nobody knows who the fuck a bouncer is. You don't travel across the country to find that legendary
I know.
bouncer.
No, he's not a bouncer.
Cooler.
Donnie,
Sorry,
he's not a
cooler.
bouncer. He's a cooler. Okay?
Nobody knows who the fuck a cooler is.
They do if you're Dalton,
I guess so.
little Miho.
3, if you're like part of your legend is you ripped a guy's throat out.
Yes.
You should be in jail.
No, he went to trial. He went to trial and he got away that it was self-defense.
Right. Okay.
Yes. I know you were not paying attention.
I wasn't.
So Kelly Lynch is the doc. Okay.
That's Dolph Lundgren.
That's Dolph Lundgren. It's really mean because she's a very attractive woman.
She's very pretty.
Yeah, she's very pretty. Every time, this is honestly, I just want to tell
Dolph
this story.
Lundgren is very pretty.
Yeah,
so.
she's a very beautiful woman. Every time that Patrick Swayze raw dogs Kelly Lynch in this movie, picks her up, puts her against the wall, no condom. He's not wearing underwear either.
It was the 80s.
You don't wear underwear in the 80s. If that scene is on TV, Bill Murray will call Kelly Lynch's husband and tell him, hey, Patrick Swayze's raw dogging your wife on TV. And that alone makes this movie worth every second. Cory,
I mean, when they filmed it, were they actually having sex or something like that? Is that
no,
like
of course
a known
not.
thing?
No. Like, no.
I mean, they probably banged afterwards in the trailer.
No, well, maybe.
Yeah.
I think they were both happily married. By all accounts, really? I think that they're both, like, Patrick Swayze's always been like a pretty decent guy. And like, anyway. Okay, come on, man. Just bring it on. Just bring it.
This movie is just a collection of cool scenes.
Yeah.
It's not a good
It's not
movie.
a movie.
Yeah.
It's not.
There's like, you get like your bar fights.
Yes.
You get some cool like Tai Chi,
Yes.
which is a weird
Well,
scene.
you do Tai Chi.
You get lots of titties.
Yes.
You get a cool monster truck smashing cars, but
Yes.
none of it makes a cohesive movie.
No, it doesn't.
It's terrible. He goes through no character growth.
Doesn't need to. He's perfect.
No, but like she dislikes him because he rips that guy's throat out and kills a man. And then like, he redeems himself by killing another man.
Yeah.
And then they just happily ever after at the end.
Death fixes everything.
Right.
Yeah, death fixes everything.
It breaks and fixes everything.
Yeah, breaks it all.
This movie's terrible.
It's so
terrible.
bad,
Yeah.
but I love it so much. It's so bad. This is what I would send somebody if I was going to do a Mike and Morgan.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like watch Roadhouse.
When I was in Oregon, I did Tai Chi for about 2 years, and
I like Tai Chi.
Wait.
The throat.
This is something new that I have now learned after doing this podcast with Donnie for 3 years. This is something new.
I did live in Oregon.
Yes.
Now the throat snatch is one of the first things you learn.
Absolutely.
It's a beginner move for sure. Yeah.
The thing
It's
about
the foundation that you build all the rest of the moves off of.
Well, the thing is, guys, pain don't hurt. Pain don't hurt. You laughed because it's funny. Tai Chi is always a thing. There's so many tropes in this movie that just I love. And that's the thing is Tai Chi shows like, oh, he's a warrior, but he has a soul of peace or a spirit of peace about him because he does Tai Chi.
And like of all those old men who like see him doing it, like they don't know what's going on in their bodies. Like they're having feelings they've never experienced before. Exactly.
He's ripped.
Yeah, he is. He's brutal.
And the thing is that he does that by keeping his pants up to his nipples.
So he only has to work on his upper muscles.
Yeah. So like
when you don't have underwear, you can do that.
Like you have to, when that happens, when you have them up that high, you have to choose
which side
your dangle goes down to hang down because you're not wearing underwear. So you got to kind of like position it to where anyway.
We're talking about this, and this is just one of those things that like it's things that only a husband and a wife know.
Oh yeah.
So like my wife, the thing that she says, she's like, I love it every time you do that. I will mess around with her and I'll take like, if I'm wearing boxers or something like that, and I'll take them and I'll just pull them as high as I can. I have to make everything go on one side. It's usually like hanging below.
Yeah, little brain.
And I'm just like, I'll walk up to her.
Little brain going up.
So do I look sexy today? Just mess. And every time I do, I don't even say anything. I'm just like, she can hear me in the closet just doing it.
Yeah.
Dude. And as soon as I walk out, she's just like, you know how much I love that, don't you?
Yeah,
she's so like sarcastic about it.
Do all husbands do that?
Yeah, I think
all husbands have something. Because like, what do we have to be sexy?
Yeah.
I can't put on sexy underwear.
Yeah. We don't get brogere.
I can't. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll put my.
Shut up right now. We got to go make some brogere. Brogere? What do you think?
I said brogere, but it could be,
what do you think?
Brogere.
Brogere?
Bra.
What's up, bro?
Brogere.
I'll pull my sleeping sweats like up like an old man,
Hey,
and
baby.
it is not attractive.
It's like the worst thing you can do. It kills all romance in your marriage.
But does it? Like we don't get those things. Like everything about a woman is it's just beautiful,
right?
And like,
and then they can put something on to make it even better.
Make it even better. What am I doing? Here, oh, hey, I put on a lacy thong, babe. What do you think?
Right.
That's really gross.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
It's not attractive.
Really bad.
There's nothing you can put on that makes you look tougher or harder.
Or what you do.
If you just got like some
no,
leather
that's not
straps
true.
or something.
If I put on like a leather jacket with spikes out the side, that would definitely make me look tougher.
Maybe I could come to bed like just totally stark naked with like a tool belt, like some hammers and stuff.
But just the hammer covering your hammer.
Yeah.
I would need a sledgehammer.
Oh,
snap. My dad's been coming up with a lot of penis jokes lately. He helped me put the bar through those poles that I did for my swing set. I don't know how many dick jokes he made, and all of them were funny. But he's like, they never get old, do they? Well, dicks get old, but the jokes don't. He never wore underwear in this movie. It's obvious. It's very, very obvious.
but it's funny because I had read some stuff behind the scenes that like there was just like tons of incidents where like women would just show up they just drive onto set, like a whole car full of all these older women, and it would like disrupt production. There was an extra who was playing a waitress who was supposed to be like just like walking drinks in the background. Yeah. She ended up tripping and falling because she was focusing so much on how good he looked, and just really like he had his moment in time where he was just like the sex god.
Oh, he's great. I love Patrick Swayze. I do. He's not the best. Is he the best actor? No, but he's very charming.
Yeah.
He seems like a decent dude.
Yeah. And this was immediately after Dirty Dancing, right? So he had like that
really
Dirty
close.
Dancing
fame. He was in that. Donnie texted us earlier. He says, now I get to cross off the list of seeing
Sam
Elliott's pubic hair.
Sam Elliott sans the stash.
Yeah.
I don't think
weird,
I've seen
right?
that.
Mijo.
Yeah.
Hey there, Mijo.
Still unmistakably Sam Elliott, though. Yeah,
For sure.
Mijo, really?
Yeah, I know, right?
And so Sam Elliott said that he almost passed on this movie
No.
because he felt that this character was too close to the character he played in The Mask. It's a movie that
with Cher.
And
No, The Mask, not The Mask.
I'm sorry. When I said it, I was like, are they both called The Mask in my mind?
Yeah,
just Mask. You're right.
Smoking. Remember Jim Carrey? You guys remember him? Remember that guy? Oh, The Mask.
He didn't make me laugh though.
Did not make me laugh. He puts his hair in a scrunchie. Not even
To get
like
ready
a
for
rubber
fighting.
band. It's a full blown scrunchie.
It's glorious hair.
Oh, it's beautiful.
That man can grow sets of hair,
Yeah.
whether it's on his face, on his lip, or on his pubes,
pubes.
on his head.
He's not a young
He's a
guy in
great
this
hair
movie.
grower.
He's never been a young guy.
He's already
born old.
He's like
Patrick
Merlin. Yeah, he was born an old man.
I'm trying to think. What's his first? I'm actually looking up. I don't know what his first movie is, but I want to watch whatever that is. He finally got nominated for an Oscar this year for.
What was the first talkie?
I know, right? How just ridiculously one note is Brad Wesley. Just he's the main bad guy.
Yeah,
guy.
it's
The main
that '80s villain, like
Yeah.
like
They
you were
own
talking
the
about
town.
before. Owns the town,
Or like is the person who owns the bank with the balloon payments. Remember the balloon payments
Yeah.
were coming down the road. When he's driving, just like weaving it in around the road.
Yeah.
Like just because you own the town doesn't mean you don't practice good car safety, Brad Wesley. Like you could still die too.
But that's what he gets off on is control. And so it's like if somebody has to go off the road because he just wants to drive wherever he wants, he gets off on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, he could die too. Like you don't control drivers.
Yeah.
Like
I don't think he was wearing a seatbelt.
definitely wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
That's why I like driving a big truck, because when people do that, where I know they're like on their cell phones or whatever, and they're like drifting into my lane, I just move next to them and I just hold my ground. I'm just holding my lane.
That's not terrifying at all.
No, it's not going to do anything to my truck. People have hit my truck several times. It does not do anything to my
I
truck.
key your truck on a
Watch,
daily basis.
I'm probably going to die on the way home driving my truck home.
Please don't.
because
Don't.
just because I've tested fate.
Now I'm. That would be horrible. Actually, do that. Our download numbers for this episode would be huge. And then me and Donnie would keep going and have you, and we just would edit your words in from the grave. It's Cory.
He's in the bunker. He's here.
Okay, no. Edit every one of this out because you actually are going to die on the way home.
I don't know who's gonna edit it though.
It's not as hard as you think. It
Well,
is hard,
it's not.
but like it's not hard.
It's not hard.
It takes
it's
time,
just-
though.
Yeah, effort.
That's a.
This movie
way to
was-
downplay my contribution to the show.
You're welcome.
It's harder than the editing is not hard, but mixing is. Getting it to sound good and having a good loudness.
Loudness. That's
Harder.
a good.
This
hard-
movie,
level.
this
That's
movie had a
actually
lot of
that.
that guys in it.
Oh, so many that guys,
Like
right?
everybody in the cast was that guys or that girls. Like who's that weird, the redheaded waitress? Oh, she was like Luke's sister on Gilmore Girls.
There you go.
Who's Jimmy, like the main bad guy? Like I know that voice and those teeth. He was a like minor Narn character on Babylon 5.
Oh, was
He was Talon.
Talon. That's nice.
Warrior
My favorite
Narn.
is always the super fat dude, enforcer guy with the trucker hat and the suspenders.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like he's gonna get
dope.
winded
And
really
he
fast.
lives all the way to the end.
He does live. He's the only one that lives.
No, there's a guy, Pat, the original bartender.
Yeah.
Did that guy not look like he's Bill Paxton's brother or
Yes.
something? Like he
Yeah.
has the Bill Paxton
Yes.
like thing down. The big teeth and just kind of like just the stupid things he says.
Ugh.
I thought it might be, I was like, is Bill Paxton in this movie too? And I was like, no, it's
That would
not
have been
him.
amazing.
Is that his brother? And I looked it up, it's not. It's a different guy.
I would have liked to have for us to have done Ghost too. I was thinking about that with Patrick Swayze. Like,
Yeah.
have you guys seen Ghost?
I see
Ghost was terrifying as a kid.
Yes.
When the shadows come out to get them, I had nightmares about that.
Yeah.
I was scared of shadows and
I'm really
darkness.
nailing it right
Yeah.
there. That's a good movie.
It really inspired me to not murder anybody.
Absolutely. I just saw a meme and it was the Patrick Swayze to be more clay making
Yeah.
Yeah.
instead of making tamales. I said to Elise, this could be us right now.
Yeah.
Making
You make tamales?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's a lot of work.
That's
a
a
ton of work.
lot of work.
It's so tasty.
Well
though.
worth it.
It's
though.
way worth it. Yeah. It's
And
like
the-
pomegranates. Like to get to all the seeds in the pomegranate, like you got to do a lot of work, but
The
it's
thing
worth it when
is,
you're
is
eating it.
that I mean, there are people that are much better than at making them than me.
Mhm.
So like, it is worth it just to buy them, and it's not like they're expensive.
Yeah.
You get them for like 50 cents to $1 each.
I've been told I'm quite good at spreading the masa
Really?
from an authentic Mexican.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Those are the same people that tell you that your explanations of the movies help them.
Maybe. Maybe.
No, it's not hard.
Is
It's just
that-
time consuming.
Your mythical friend, CJ.
Yeah, friend. I know. Never seen him. Actually, I have seen him on.
We've seen him on
I've
Skype,
Skyped
yeah.
him. Yeah, I've seen him. It could be Donnie though. Could be Donnie. He could be a faceless man. What do we say to revealing our friends today? Not today. I'm trying to think of some other stuff. Pain Don't Hurt. I want to hit that one. Raw Dogging It with Bill Murray. Brad Wesley driving around. Would you ever go to the Double Deuce?
Actually, I think the Double Deuce was cooler before they changed it. Like they made it too trendy and too pop.
Yeah, they
Obviously,
Starbucks it.
he needed to like end the violence and the craziness, but it seemed like a pretty fun dive bar. Other
Yeah.
than that,
Does Jeff Healy
women,
have
women
like
just
glass
jumping on stage
eyes?
and getting naked. I like it.
Does he have glass eyes?
Jeff
or-
Healy, which one is he?
Yes, he does have prosthetic eyes.
Okay.
he's the blues player, the blind guy.
Oh, he's actually is
He's,
blind.
he's
He's
an
a
actual
real
musician.
artist. He's
and-
been playing since he was 3.
Well, he's dead, but
Well,
um,
okay, he was a real artist.
yeah, he was like an actual musician. And
Really good.
also really blind.
That's the only upside is that I thought the music was pretty good.
Yeah.
in this movie.
No, there's
The
a lot of upside. It's just no.
Corey is correct. That is the only upside.
No, I'm just saying, like, this movie is not for everybody, but I don't know what it was. It might be from repeated viewings of it just being on and I have it on in the background. I was just like, man, that is just, this movie should not be enjoyable in any way whatsoever.
Melanie and I were watching it and she's like, this is not a good movie. I go, no. I'm angry at Chris because I liked Patrick Swayze and now
No, he doesn't.
like my opinion of Patrick
At no
Swayze has
point
gone
did I
down.
think
Who's
that this
also
was going to
dead.
be your yeah, I know, right? Jeez, bring it down. The only thing that's ever weird is the owner of the Double Deuce, who I never know what his name is. I've
Totally
seen
of that guy.
But he is always a bad guy.
Yeah.
This is the first time. So the entire time that I remember watching this first time, I was waiting for him to like be in league with Brad Wesley because there's no way that he could be a good guy.
Yeah, he's got that slimy smile.
He looks like
Yeah.
a rat.
Yeah,
Well,
but-
and
but
he's a blonde man. Like that just
they're all evil.
They're gross.
yeah.
But no, so the main thing that I remember him from is from the first season of Lost. He was John Locke's father who tricked him out of his kidneys.
Absolutely, yeah.
And he just had that slimy charm
Yeah.
and then ended up tricking him out of him. You know what I mean? And I thought he was going to end up being the bad guy.
Gotcha.
I thought he was going to end up being the bad guy in this movie.
Yeah.
He's super skeezy.
Yeah.
But that's it. So the whole time, yeah, you were thinking. I'm glad you thought the same
Yeah.
thing. This is just I could not not have this in the show to be crapped on.
Yeah.
Because it just needs to be out there.
Yeah.
Did you like his car with the little thing that
Oh, the
cars
covers over the lights.
he's just like, do you want to pay as you go? Or because he's just so used to knowing that his car is going to get destroyed.
Yeah.
And he's making a lot of money. Making a lot of money.
It was $5,000 to start, and then it was $500 a week.
Yeah, and that's 1980 something
89 money, yeah.
And then like other movie too, other stuff.
But imagine he's got high medical bills.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
He's got to travel to do the job.
but if you live by the Bushido code,
Did he ever mention that? Like they
No,
never
he
mentioned like where he got his training or how he knew it. It's just the
from
Tai Chi.
Sam Elliott, obviously,
It's just the Tai Chi.
From Wade.
Yeah.
Wade Garrett.
They
Well,
never set up the throat, the ripping the squelch out, ripping it out.
Yeah.
They never set it up. It
How
just came out of
douchey was
nowhere.
that guy with this one
No,
earring?
he did have a rep for ripping out somebody's throat.
Yeah.
I don't think he said it in the beginning. In
Yeah.
the diner, he just said he killed somebody. But
They-
you know how.
they
It was
mentioned
like
it-
somebody like, oh, I heard he ripped a guy's throat out.
okay.
Yeah,
It was
they
like,
set
yeah.
up. They set up.
It was
multiple
part of
times.
his legend as the best.
Because here's the
cooler.
thing.
That's how close attention I was paying.
Yeah.
Did you guys think he'd be taller?
that was a comical kind of reoccurring little thing.
It was
I thought you'd be
very
taller.
comical. It's not, guys. It's fine. My ego is not tied to this movie. I just could not talk about it.
Yeah.
I want to move on to Brick because I have many things to say about it. Unless you guys have more stuff to say about Roadhouse.
I'm good.
Okay. Last chance. Like literally.
Last chance to talk about this movie or any movie altogether.
Yeah.
It's good.
Hey, you got our second to last quickie, Donnie?
Brick. Columbo, the early years, has way more violence and drugs than you would expect.
What do you think, Corey?
I enjoyed some of this. I had a hard time taking it seriously, and it didn't dawn on me until the end. It's the dialogue. I think if they would have just modernized the dialogue, left it kind of quick and snappy
Yeah.
with some modern slang, it would have been fine. It really took me out of it when they're saying things that it's just old 1920s.
It had like a Romeo plus Juliet or something like that feel
I'm
to
so
it.
Yeah.
glad you said that. Because I said
That was the main criticism of
I
it.
said that to Elise. I said it feel on some level they might as well be reciting Shakespeare
yeah.
because you're obviously that they're doing a vernacular that no
Felt
longer.
forced.
Yeah.
Now,
it's
here's-
like-
Other than that, the idea was super clever.
The idea is very
the
clever.
music was awesome. The story, everything else was great. It's just the dialogue was a little weird. So it came off as like being funny to me. I was like, am I supposed to laugh
Oh,
at this?
the funniest part of the whole movie. So the movie is a film noir.
it's like a hard-boiled detective.
Yeah,
story.
hard-boiled detective story set in a early
school.
2000s high school of navigating that. The funniest part is when he's talking to the pin for the first time at the mom's table because they're all high schoolers.
Yeah.
And they're dealing with like, it's a murder mystery.
was great. I love that
It's like,
scene.
would you want some orange? I can go to the store, get some orange juice. No, thank you. Or apple juice is fine. It's country style.
He's running an entire like criminal syndicate out of his house, and his mom lives there.
The
Like,
pin
yeah,
and tug.
yeah.
And then Emily DeRavin from Lost too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: this movie didn't land for me. I'm glad that we talked about it. I'm glad I know exactly why you wanted it on the show.
For sure.
Yeah.
There's
this
so much
is
to
a
talk.
movie that screams Donnie.
Exactly. Roadhouse, the brick,
The Brick
just those type of movies
House.
where you're just like, I have to talk about this movie. There's
Yeah.
a ton to talk about. It was the dialogue for me. None of these characters are believable to me, and they're not.
No.
I don't think they're supposed to be. This is almost a fantasy movie to watch, but it was funny to see it go through. It was. So I told Elisa, said it's very clever, and there are some really good things going on to it. But like, I could not stop knowing that it was a movie the entire time. The whole time, I'm like, this is a movie. But Ryan Johnson obviously is very clever.
I've actually never watched any previous like film noir type movies, with the exception of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. that's where all of my references were coming from.
That's the most terrifying movie of all time. So yes.
But like, I really felt like they really like nailed all of the different sort of characters.
You want one ops for me, Brain?
Yeah.
I love Brain. Brain was my favorite character.
Brain was great. The person that he's always hitting the payphone and calling for like some extra information. And then like the sort of sultry,
the drama girl.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I told Lisa, said that instead of going to a strip club, because they're in high school, they went to the drama club.
Yeah.
And then hung out with, and then they're like, she's out there smoking.
Yes,
and like,
they nailed all of those tropes.
It's very clever.
That was super clever. I really think that this movie is due for like a remake, and do it just with more modern dialogue.
And I want to say like that was Roger Ebert's exact like.
I read the reviews on it, and that is it.
Really?
Great. I think he gave it 3 out of 4 stars. He's like, great movie. The dialogue just takes you out of it.
Yeah.
This movie won a ton of indie awards. Like
It should have. I mean, for an indie flick,
absolutely $450,000.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They made a ton of money on it.
Made a ton of movie. There were a lot of really funny things going on, but that scene with him in the pen, I just could not stop.
The
laughing.
pen is all pimped out with his cane.
He's wearing like the duster cloak. Is that what it's called?
A corrective shoe, right?
What's that called when it has like the cape over the top of it? Is it a duster?
Dusters
Duster's
have
an
that.
actual trench
like
coat
a
jacket
Western
kind of
long coat.
Yeah, there's a name
that was
for
the thing. He kept doing something with his jacket, and I felt like it was supposed to represent a trench coat, like a detective would have. And he kept put his hands in his jacket and push him down real hard. And I was trying to figure out, like, what? It looks weird. Is he doing a thing?
He's doing a thing. It's that outcast look because he's the outcast. The other thing that I
was
like,
like almost too deliberate. It didn't feel natural. Like it was like, oh yeah, remember to do this. Put your hands in.
Yeah.
Well, he was definitely someone that did things because he thought about what he was doing a lot. The thing that I liked. And it's so important because it just brought me right back to high school too. Same thing. Who's she eating with?
Yeah.
Because like where you ate lunch. Was
and
there was
who with?
Who with was very important. I even remember. So I'm like, okay, what'd I do? I remembered especially from sophomore to senior year, there was a specific table outside, and it was different. If you ate outside, it was like a cool thing to do. If you ate outside at the tables, you ate inside. That was for like. That was
freshmen.
That was like freshmen ate inside.
And that's the thing is, as the years go on in high school, it changes. So for me, it was like freshman, sophomore was one thing, and then junior, senior, because I got to go off campus and drive.
Oh yeah, we
so
weren't
like
allowed to go
what restaurants
off,
you went to and who else was seen there.
We had a
so
close
it was like two
campus.
different worlds.
We had a close campus.
Yeah.
So, so that was ours was these specific tables, and I sat with the starting line for football.
Yeah.
We all always ate together, which there was mounds of food. Because it was just us,
This giant
all
dudes.
these, everybody was either my size or taller. So like we just had all these mountains of food, but we only ate
So were you the
together.
little guy in your group?
No, I was
like the mountain and his brothers.
Yeah, exactly. No, we would only eat together, and then we would disperse and go sit with whatever girl we were going after, or we see our other friends or whatever. And then that's how but I just remember like, yeah, that was nice. And then I remember my cousin Curtis, it's British, sat with us. He's a tiny guy. And so it was all of us, and then my cousin would sit with us. Yeah. He's the only, and it's just like, this is nice, and I feel protected. Where did you sit? You went to
Ridgeview.
That's right. Yeah, where did you sit?
I honestly don't remember freshman year very much, but I know like I maybe it was freshman year that I hung out with a bunch of guys who were on the baseball team, and we literally would like just at lunch I don't know where we'd eat. I think we get stuff at the snack bar, and then we go play hacky sack.
Yeah, there you go.
That was like a big thing, playing hacky sack all the time.
Yeah.
And if somebody forgot their hacky sack, we'd actually take somebody's cup, like one of the paper cups that you get from McDonald's. Or
the ones that you blow up.
No, just like a regular 16-ounce paper cup that you'd get at the snack bar. And we'd sit there and hacky sack the
That's
cup.
Awesome. I love that. I do remember freshman year I did eat inside, and then sophomore through senior year
At
outside.
Foothill, we had the wall.
There you
which
go.
was kind of in front of the auditorium.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like that's
Hidden
where
from
like
view.
the long hairs and like the people wearing docks and shit would go eat at the wall. So we
the
go
drama kids eat there too, because that's where the drama kids ate at the theater.
Freshman sophomore year I wasn't into drama.
Okay.
I only got into drama junior year, and so
a drama queen.
Yeah, totally.
Yes,
And then we were saying like junior senior we could leave campus. So
Yeah.
we usually went like. Me and CJ would go to like Vaughn's and get like a sandwich from the deli. Or like, we didn't go to like the hip places to eat.
I was already telling somebody at work about like just my junior year. I was part of like the elite club who people who had gotten their license and actually had a car to drive. And that like first week, it was just like all of us. We all like look at you got a car, and we'd all just like take off at the same time. It was the coolest freaking feeling when you first got to go off campus.
Yeah, we couldn't. There was my sophomore year. Was the last year that they had an open campus. I didn't have my car sophomore year. I was only 15. So so it's like junior year's coming. Junior year's coming. I get my license over the summer. No.
It was always like this this politics game where it's like, who's gonna go in your car with you?
Yeah.
You know, you try to like
it's so funny
I
how
really
big
want
of a
like
deal.
these friends, but this guy's like tagging along. I had this he's probably good, I don't think he listens, but I had
Is it Evan Chambers?
No, it's not, but it's I had a neighbor who saw me washing my truck the day before school.
Okay.
And he came over and he's like, did you get your license? Did you get to drive? And I was like, God dang it. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, can I get a ride tomorrow? And I was like, yeah, you know, I'll look out for you when I get ready to take off. And so my idea was like, I've got to leave early because I don't.
He was out there waiting.
Dude was at my house at 6 a.m. before I even woke up. My dad was an early riser. So he had gotten ready and came over because he knew what I was going to try and do.
Yeah.
So I had to drive him. I had to drive him to school.
Yeah.
I was trying to be cool. And then at lunch, like he was just like a magnet on me. And I had a couple of buddies that I had told like, hey, I got a car, so like we can go to lunch. And he squeezed in there. And so I kept like inviting more and more people. And then like by like the third day.
What was your original car?
It was a 1987 red beat up Mazda 2200 truck. It was a model of a truck that when it was new was actually pretty nice. It had like nice like rims and wide tires and stuff on it.
But not
my
anymore.
dad had put it through its paces and it was just like scratched up and dented up. It was such a beater that like it burned through oil faster than it did gas.
Yes, that was my first truck was like that. Mine was just a bench seat.
Yeah.
Was your first car also an 87? Because mine was.
No,
nice.
mine was a 79.
Oh.
Yeah.
I had an 87 Chevy Blazer, full size.
Nice. Yeah, you put a lot of people in there.
My real because I only had that one for 4 months before it literally exploded. Like it blew up. Every gasket blew up simultaneously.
I learned some hard lessons. I remember my dad, he thought that I was taking care of and maintaining it.
Nope.
I didn't know I had to constantly put oil in it.
Yeah.
And so like he would like listen to me start it up and it was like just making that awful that clicking noise because it's so dry. And he's like, son, you got to put oil in that. That's bad.
Yeah.
So I pretty much every time I'd fill up with gas, I'd buy a quart of oil and just put it in. Yeah.
Exact same. It's a rite of passage.
It is. Absolutely. My kids will have an old vehicle for that.
Oh, I don't know because that's a lot of work for me.
But that's but
and there might not be enough oil
they need
left
to learn
for them to do that.
Because by contrast, there were other kids at my school that their parents bought them like new cars and nice cars, and they would wreck them and they'd do all kinds of stuff because they didn't appreciate it enough. You got to appreciate it.
I think on some level, my dad because so after my truck blew up. Yeah. And it like literally blew up. My parents said, "Oh, okay." So they bought me a used car. It was a Jeep Cherokee. It was nice. It wasn't new by any means, but it was a very good car. And they got a good deal on it. And they said, "Here you go." And they ended up giving me the pink slip. And then when I graduated, and I was very thankful for it. But like I would not have taken care of it, and I would not appreciated it if I didn't have to buy my first beater with my own money.
Yeah.
So like
that's important. That's an important lesson to teach kids.
Yeah.
I know for me, like with that truck, we used to do a lot of crazy stuff. We go like mudding and stuff like that in that thing.
Yeah. My Jeep, same thing. It was all 4-wheel drive. Like we would just like,
yeah. Well, mine was just 2-wheel drive, but I'd go anyways. And then my buddy would tow me out if he had to. But we went, it was like last week of school. You know, they don't really want you there. It's like your senior year. Like all the classes are done.
Like ditch day.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily ditch day. It was just like the teachers was like, just be somewhere else. Not here. I'm not teaching class today. Like it's the last week. You're gonna graduate. It's all done. All the grades are done.
Yeah.
So like we had like the first 2 periods, like we had nothing to do. So we're like, oh, let's just go out in the fields behind school and just, you know, we'd drift around turns and stuff like that. And I took one turn just a little faster than I had the ability to control. Drove my truck into a ditch. Then we went back, walked back to school. Grabbed my buddy's truck. He had a tow cable, pulled me out of there, and like my alignment was just jacked. It was like a V basically. So I was like, oh crap. And I had a job at this point. I had money, but like back then it was like a couple $100 for some new tires and to fix the alignment was like, that broke my bank.
Might as well be, you need $1 million.
But I was so scared of like my parents, like, hearing about it. So I went ahead and took care of it all. But the mistake that I made was I went to our tire shop, like where they have our number on file. So I thought I had a buddy pick me up.
Oh man.
We went to school and then we went back after school to pick it up. And then when I got home, my dad's like, "Hey, Firestone called today." And I was like,
"Oh no."
And he was like, "I really appreciate that you took the responsibility to
it's a good lesson.
To get the tires, maintained or whatever." He's like, "But I wish you would have told me because I actually bought you another truck as a graduation gift, so you didn't have to spend that money." And I was just like, how did this go into like, I thought I was dead. And now I'm getting a cool gift for graduation.
That's some gift to the Magi shit right there. Some O. Henry stuff.
That's so good. This movie reminded me too. One, I did like high school. I had a good time. I had a lot of really good friends, played a lot of sports. Yeah. I'm much happier now. Because the other thing is you think that you're so freaking important and you think you know so much about the world.
You know so much.
You think you know so much.
God.
And it is just like every time I was watching this movie, the whole time, it's like literally any adult would have done a better job than anybody in here. Yeah. Like any adult could have come in and just been like, oh yeah, the police would have figured all of this out.
He didn't call the police when he found her body. Yes. He put her back deeper into the thing. Like, you are contaminating that site.
Yes, exactly.
Like, you think you can figure this out better than the police can?
Exactly. That's it. The police would have figured it out. Fingerprints.
Right.
All the fingerprints. His
DNA is all over her now.
His DNA
he is suspect one.
His DNA is
in her.
Yeah. Because it's his baby.
Yeah.
So you think it was his baby?
Unless she was just being a total B.
Yeah. She might have been lying just to make him feel awful.
I think it was true.
Yeah.
And I think that's why the whole time she's like, you got to let me go. I didn't. Okay, here's the thing.
Why would she want him to let her go when it's his baby?
Because he knew that he was full of hate. I don't know. There's a lot going on.
She didn't want to be with him anymore. And she certainly didn't want him to be
dad,
the father of their baby.
Yeah.
She got around. Those 3 different guys that were all contenders for that baby. So I have a question. Do you guys think that Brain is real? He never interacts with anyone else. Is it just a figment of his imagination?
No, I don't think that they were going that.
I think he does interact with it. We don't see it, but he says something about how I don't remember the girl's name. Like,
but it could be like a Tyler Durden thing. Like
Emily mentions Brain. Emily mentions Brain. So
but again, that's everything's narrated through Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I don't think that we're doing I don't think we're doing that type of thing. I think it's literally supposed to be a very straightforward.
Okay.
Hard-boiled thing. I get what you're saying, though. I do get what you're saying. Yeah. I could see how you could think that. I wouldn't.
I didn't. It just crossed my mind, and I was like, well, probably not.
That's fun. Yeah, now, I had to think about it, but no, Brain interacts with people off screen. And also, he keeps tabs. Joseph Gordon-Levitt can't be everywhere at once. That is good. I didn't love this movie. I love the idea of this movie.
Yeah.
And
I could see that.
But I do so glad we watched it.
Yeah.
It's worth a watch.
I'm in the middle. I think I'm in between you guys. I think that I will watch it again someday. I felt like it was one of those things. Was like, oh, this could be great, but that it just the dialogue kind of brings down. This is cool.
I want them to keep the dialogue, but don't make it so archaic. Keep that type of like.
I like the pace.
The pace. That's what I'm saying. Keep the pace.
Yeah.
Keep the way that they talk, the cadence.
Sure. Yeah, the cadence. Yeah.
He said something like he said some word, and I can't remember whatever befalls you. Mm-hmm. No one says that word.
Yeah.
No one says befalls. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, okay, change some of those, but keep the things like
just
the yeg.
Modernize it
just slightly. But they weren't trying to do a thing. Yeg is just like a dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an old thing that they say.
I'd say replace that with dude. But there were things like terms that they'd use to represent like the police or represent like jail. Yeah, and it's like update those. Call them the popos or whatever you want.
But he was doing a thing. I know he was trying to do a thing, but no, it was very it took me out every single time they.
And it's one of those things that like when you're making a movie, it's a choice that you make. Like, oh, this would be really cool, and then like once it's all filmed, they probably were like, it wasn't as cool as I thought. We probably should have done the dialogue different. But the script's the first thing that gets written.
Donnie probably felt this way too when he was watching it. He's like, until he put his glasses into a metal case the whole time. He's like, man, he's gonna break his glasses this whole time. Like, you got to put those away.
Yeah.
And like the whole time, like I'm thinking of glasses care the entire time.
Yeah.
Like he's got to really take care of those.
The more I think back, there was a lot. Like, I loved that the trunk kept popping open. Like, that was just a little gag that's like every time you
and you
shut it
see
again.
Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, because he broke it to get out.
You see Ryan Johnson's like, oh yeah, I would trust him with something. He's very clever. Give him a huge budget and let's see what he does.
Yeah.
And then we get Looper, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah.
And we totally could have done for the show.
Yeah.
And then of course, the only other Star Wars movie I've seen, which is The Last Jedi, which is really good.
I thought he did Force Awakens.
No, that was JJ.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
This was the second time I've seen this movie in like the last 10 years. And I think I enjoyed it more this time around. Although watching
second
it,
watch will improve my experience.
it was like 20 minutes in, and I thought, oh, wait a second. I look over at Melly, and she's just looking perplexed. I'm like, you're not getting any of this, are you?
Like a
English.
native English speaker barely gets
She's
this.
like, nope, I don't understand any of the dialogue.
Yeah.
It's so funny. We didn't get a chance to because on like legit, I forgot that I had to watch a movie. Because like I remember like, oh yeah, I've seen all 3 movies for this recently.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wait a second.
I've never seen Brick.
Shoot, I didn't see Brick.
Yeah.
Because for some reason I had Brick and The Rock in my head.
So you were thinking you could just talk about The Rock.
But like it wasn't as conscious as that. It's just like, oh, I've seen all 3.
Yeah.
Nope. So I watched it. Like I was done. I had written a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm like, oh, wait a second. I need to watch a movie. It was like 11. So I started watching. I finished it this morning, and I'm glad I did. But
I wouldn't have minded if you would have picked The Rock because I've seen it once, and I don't know a lot of the references that I think you make a lot.
I'm gonna have you guys over, okay, soon.
Yeah, I haven't seen The Rock, and I'm not likely to watch it without having to.
I want to
You're gonna
have
have to force me to.
Yeah, I'm gonna clockwork orange you guys. But don't worry, I'll put drops.
I don't know what it's about, but you're going to have to imprison me Alcatraz style.
Yes.
If you want me to watch this movie.
And I'll still do Welcome to the Rock.
Welcome to The Rock.
It's a good movie. It's so nice. The Rock is so 90s. It hurts. It's so 90s. It hurts. I'm gonna have Dave Morgan over. You guys remember Dave Morgan, right? The guy who destroyed the show.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
owner of the show.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
he
gave me these cool
destroyed the
fucking
show.
dice.
I know they are really cool. These are great gifts, man.
He totally redeemed himself, though. Like
He didn't need to redeem himself.
he did not
I
need
know.
to
Like,
redeem himself, but
he
But he
felt
did
really
anyway.
bad.
yeah,
So
he makes me feel bad now messing with him.
Did I tell you that I texted him? I said, "Hey, just tomorrow, we rag on you."
Yeah.
Because he's such a great guy and he's very caring. Obviously, he got these gifts, I think, to make up for it. Because I still think he thinks that he made us mad, which you did not,
you
Dave.
totally
We
did not.
cannot
It was
stress enough.
They're very personalized. I mean,
Yeah.
he knows I like dice. He knows
Yeah.
you've been
Yeah.
shopping. He knows Cory needs to put on a shirt now and again.
Yeah, every now and then. But I want to have him over, and I want you guys to come over too.
think
He's
that'd be
never
cool.
seen Terminator and Terminator 2.
Oh, really? So we can have a Terminator Fest.
So I think we need to have a Terminator night, and I'm putting up a on where the swings are. I have lag bolts to put in a screen for outdoor. So I want to do an outdoor.
We'll do it soon before our summer nights are still 110.
I know, right? Yeah, maybe this might be a winter thing where we have a nice fire in the background. But I want us to do a Terminator 2
Do it in
combo.
like November when it's just like 80 outside.
November sounds amazing. Anyway, that'll come up
Yesterday,
eventually.
the temperature was like, I felt like I was at the beach yesterday. It was so good.
Beautiful. Oh, working outside yesterday was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Move on.
All right. Yeah, that was Brick.
Yeah, that was great. Hey, Donnie, glad you brought it in. I will never watch this movie, but like I'm glad we talked about it.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
I accept that.
He's like, the feeling's mutual at
Yeah, I know.
Roadhouse.
No, I told you. Anyway, it's fine.
It's good.
More Gooder Than is proud to be sponsored by Range Outdoors. Range provides high quality and stylish apparel for people who want to, as they put it, go be free. They are a group of fishermen, climbers, backpackers, hunters, mountain bikers, and outdoor enthusiasts that want to help conserve and protect the environment they love for our future generations. They give their time and donate a portion of proceeds to conservation efforts. Head to range-outdoors.myshopify.com to check out their entire catalog.
It's good.
Now onto a movie that everybody loves.
Here's the thing though, man. we bared our souls a little bit. You went with the obvious, like,
Well, I went with the
hey,
easy
I
choice.
want you to pick a movie that is fantastic, but I know why you did it, because the joke has always been
Yes.
that I've never seen Star Wars,
Yeah.
and you picked the second best Star Wars.
And we kicked a lot of ideas around. We thought about, and I don't think
man.
we've said this yet, but we
Yeah.
thought about doing the holiday special.
Yes.
And then the 2 like made for TV Ewok
Donnie
movies.
I was 100% on board.
I
know.
argued
and Donnie was
vehemently
like,
against
I
that.
will not watch those. Like, really? You won't watch them?
And so the joke
No.
was we were going to say on the goodie bag, hey guys, we're finally doing Star Wars. And it was going to be the 3
Boom.
shittiest Star Wars movies ever.
And my thought process was just call it Star Wars finally.
Yeah.
And
That
just,
would
we would not
That would
need.
have been great.
I know.
And
Yes.
it would have been crappy movies to watch.
No.
In retrospect, they probably would have been better than Roadhouse.
Of course, it would have been better than Roadhouse. Everything's better than Roadhouse. No, and my whole thought process was none of us need to watch any Star Wars movies. We don't need we like just if we feel like it, we would watch it. You and Melly did the whole Star Wars thing, start to finish. I could watch any of them at any time. And so anyway, and we just would have been like, we don't have to watch about movies. We don't have to watch anything for this.
Yeah.
Rogue One was amazing. I think it's the second best
Wait, do
Star
we have
Wars.
we're going to let them do a big D.
Oh yeah,
goodie
sorry.
bag?
Yeah.
Oh.
Cookie?
Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Rogue One, considered by many to be the best Star Wars movie. Rogue One is totally the best Star Wars movie.
I know.
I
I thought I was saying something controversial. Like it was maybe like a year or two ago
Oh, yeah.
on the show. I was
some
like,
people-
hey, I know this might hurt people's feelings, but I think Rogue One's the best Star Wars movie.
We're all like, yeah, man, everybody thinks that.
We know.
Rogue
I
One
thought
is
that because there's no real like Force users. This is all the
That's what makes it
other
the best Star
citizens.
Wars
of-
movie. That's what
that's what I was gonna say.
you get-
This is
you-
all the other citizens of the world,
Yeah.
and that's what makes it so
and
cool.
you just get you see how scary a Force user will be
At the end, when
when
Darth Vader rages.
There's
Which is what-
exactly the right amount of Jedi or Sith in this
Exactly,
movie.
and it's
you
this,
get
the
Chirrut,
end of this
too.
is like when we finally get like the Logan movie with Wolverine, where it's like we finally just get to see him rage because we never really get to see like Darth Vader unleash everything he can do in
Yeah.
once.
Well, this isn't just like us seeing that. This is like
everybody.
everybody's seeing it for the first time. Like he's been a shadowy figure.
Yeah.
They know like the Emperor has
a hitman,
some
basically.
dude,
He's like a
An
hitman.
enforcer.
but
Yeah.
nobody like has. He's not like a public persona in the
Yeah.
Empire.
No.
So when he breaks through the door, like they don't know what the fuck that guy is all
Everything
about.
he does, the best of everything that he can do.
so-
Picking dudes up, throwing them, yeah,
choke on
choking
your
them, melting the
aspirations.
doors open. Like, it's so
well,
good.
no, the door is being melted open because he went through a dude.
guy, yeah.
Oh,
my,
it's so
my
good.
favorite is when like they know something is coming, somebody's come in,
Yeah.
and it's just darkness, and then all you see is the light from
so
the
good.
like just every hair. I had
He's holding
goosebumps.
Yeah, when he's holding his fist up. I was telling Elise
chill
about
bumps, whatever.
Goosebumps on your hair.
Yeah,
my goosebumps.
Wow.
had
the
goosebumps.
hairs on my hairs were standing up.
But other than that, so here's the thing. My favorite movie, my favorite Star Wars is Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
When I think of Star Wars, that is what I think. It has Jabba, it has Boba Fett, it has the Emperor, it has everybody that you like in them. It's Lando.
You like that bikini?
Of course I do. Who doesn't? But anyway, it has all the things that I remember as a kid. Is it the best one objectively? Probably not. Rogue One is probably objectively the best one.
It's the one as a kid I feel like I
And that's
knew
it.
the most references from and remembered the most
and it
probably
has
saw
Ewoks.
the most.
And
yeah.
everyone knows I'm a huge defender of Ewoks. I love the Ewoks. I always have. I love that poetic justice that is that the Emperor gets taken down by something he doesn't think is significant. So the Ewoks, he completely doesn't even care about them. And so he's like, oh, I don't even have to factor them into my plan. They basically take down the Empire. Anyway, whatever. But Rogue One is a masterpiece of a war movie. And it's the only one that my oldest hasn't seen. And a heist, too.
heist,
Yeah.
a war,
a
yeah,
war
like
heist.
a war movie. Yeah,
Every single one of the characters pays the ultimate price. Spoiler alert. Watch Rogue One. I know everyone's seen it. Everyone pays the ultimate price. No one gets out alive. And they know that through the whole movie. They really do know that at any point they could die. I'm very much so looking forward to the Disney Plus Cassian and K2 TV show. We talked about it a couple weeks ago, and it's all good. And I love Jedi, but I just love the universe too.
sure.
It's
Yeah.
lived in, and
This movie has the best droid. Well, you can make an argument for HK-47, but
meat bags.
K2SO like incredible. Alan Tudyk, awesome.
yeah.
So good. Says, I am coming to Jen. Cassian told me I had to.
Yeah. Congratulations, you are being rescued.
You're being rescued.
Every one of the characters is just so cool.
Oh, I
Like,
love and Diego Luna is so cool. Cassian, I love that actor.
He's
Yeah.
one of my favorite Star Wars characters.
Oh, he's
like
so cool.
he's one of the most like he has the most like hard boiled sort of like story like because he's an
done bad
operative. He's an
he's-
operative basically.
he's done bad
right?
things.
He's
Yeah.
he's
done bad
got to
things.
do bad things.
Oh, he
It's his orders, but
murders
he
that
doesn't want
dude
to.
so he can't talk like
Right?
in his first scene.
Yeah, so really cool character there.
really good.
Jen's a great heroine. Chirrut and
Baze.
Baze
Oh,
are
their
so cool.
bromance
I
is
wish they could have
fantastic.
their own spin-off
Oh, I
show.
watched their show.
Even that-
You are behind you is a picture that Joe Merle drew
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah,
He's like, "Hey, Chris, I hear you like Chirrut. Here you go.
Yeah.
Thank you."
Bodhi is an awesome, like the whole
Everybody's
the whole
great.
team is awesome.
Yeah. Is Bodhi in Aladdin? Is he Jafar?
Riz.
Yeah, Riz
something?
Ahmed.
Ahmed, yeah.
Is he Jafar?
I believe so.
I mean, if I'm wrong, that feels very racist of me. So, like, I really hope I'm not wrong. But I love this movie.
That the creepy CGI Peter Cushing part.
Doesn't really throw me off that much.
It is kind of creepy, but I was my ears perked up. I go, is that Wayne Pigram voicing him? I looked it up. It's not. No.
It's his son, right?
No. No, I don't remember the
His
actor's
son.
name.
His son is the person. If I remember correctly, I could be very wrong. He's the one doing that. They project the mocap onto.
But typing it in, like Wayne Pigram Tarkin, was like a Google thing. So I was like, okay, I wasn't the only one who thought that. Wayne Pigram plays Tarkin in Revenge of the Sith. So I don't know why they didn't just get him because he looks very much like him. But he has a very distinctive voice. I don't know how far you are into Farscape.
I stopped after 2 episodes.
Wayne Pigram
It's a little
plays
too much.
one of the best, like most complex, nuanced sci-fi villain / anti-heroes in the genre. As Scorpius in that series.
I'll have to. I will try. It's rough watching it.
It's a rough start.
It's very dated. What I thought. Okay, so let's just say I was not that thrown off by the CGI face. I liked it. I did like that Tarkin was in it. He would be in it.
Yeah.
The way I figured, the only thing that I would have done if you said to fix it is everything is done through hollows. Everything would be done through hollow. He's going to be CGI anyway. So and then like you just showed him from the back and had him talk, reflection in the mirror. You never actually see his face. I think that would have been okay. I think they could have done that. The director of this directed Godzilla and Kong Skull Island. And I really like that he did it because both of those movies show something that's huge. He got that there is a huge enemy, which is what the Death Star is.
Yeah.
He understood the scope and size of what they were actually up against. And that's what you got in Kong Skull Island and the Godzilla movie. I think he's doing King of the Monsters too.
Cool.
So
I will go see that.
oh, absolutely. Did you see Kong Skull Island?
Yeah.
It's a really good movie.
I dug it.
There's some
decent. I
some
thought.
issues and there's some things that, but like in the end, it's like, man, it's just a good monster movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a really good with some good. John C. Reilly is hilarious in it. Like I call them skull crushers. I understand that sounds really bad now that I say it out loud, but I'm going to stick with it because I've been thinking about it for a long time.
Yeah.
But anyway, Rogue One is incredible, and you don't need to feel bad for thinking that, Corey. I just want you to hear it from me.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for giving me permission.
But no, Rogue One is incredible. It's an incredible film.
I saw Guerrera's like voice is weird, but I kind of dig it. Like it was a choice. Yeah.
He's a troubled character. Like he's got some
But
issues.
I'm saying, like, as an actor for Forrest Whitaker, to sort of make that choice to do this voice, it's kind of a silly choice, but like,
can't
I
breathe.
kind of dig it. Yeah, I
can't
can't breathe.
breathe.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's got respiratory issues.
It's the counterpoint to.
Well, you get a little
Yeah.
noise, and he's basically in like a mobile iron lung.
Yeah, right.
Seeing
And I
Vader
like when he knows
all
like he's
cut
not gonna
up.
survive, and he's kind of like drops all of his pieces off, and is just like he's ready to die.
Run,
Yeah, run, Jim.
child.
What's the famous thing that he says right at the end? Like, which will you choose, or whatever. It's like a line where
that was in like the trailer or something.
it's in
Oh,
the
yeah.
trailer, and it's like when he's having that last conversation with her, like to kind of motivate her I
With the
forget what it is.
spit running down his
I
face.
can't remember what it is. Yeah. But speaking of Darth Vader, we got to see Darth Vader in his back to tank.
In his natural
Yeah.
habitat.
Why did he choose to live on a volcanic island or a volcanic planet?
I believe that it was very strong in the dark side. Like there's obviously like places that are strong in
like,
force.
Oh, this is the place that crippled me. I'm going to live here.
It's probably a Sith temple there as well. That's
Does he
how
live
I got
on? Is it Mustafar?
It's supposed to be Mustafar. Yeah.
He like live there?
Like he has that castle there.
You never think of like Vader living somewhere.
I know.
Just
This is
kinda-
the first time you see his house.
He's always on the
Welcome to my
garret.
house. Come on in. You want something to drink?
Yeah.
He uses the Force to grab you a beer.
Yeah.
And a pear. Here's a pear that I sliced for you. How much?
excuse the mess.
Oh, I'm
I-
sorry. I did
I
not get a
love-
chance to clean up.
This movie's just riddled with like just really cool stuff. But I love when he like chokes Krennic and he's like, "Be careful not to choke on your ambition."
Oh,
On your aspirations.
Aspirations.
Super
Because the
dad joke.
aspirations
Because
is
that's a
important.
beautiful pun.
It's the whole thing is a pun because he's force choking somebody, but also you're
Yeah.
choking on trying to get all these accolades and things like that.
Well, and also
but
you
then
like
aspirations is about
you're
breathing.
aspiring.
Yeah.
The thing about it too is with Vader, and we talked about it with Peter Mayhew passing about Chewbacca. Is luckily with Chewbacca and Vader, it's a costume that like it's okay if the person who's inside of it is not there. Obviously, there's a lot of nuance going on there in the hand motions and everything, but like as long as James Earl Jones is around,
That will be the sad day because he's old. He's not going to last forever.
we can keep it going, and he can still be an awesome fighter,
Like,
dude.
I hope
Yeah.
that like they are
That's
writing
a very technical term. Awesome fighter, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks
I
for
hope
letting
that
that
they're
pass.
writing like all the dialogue for whatever movies in the future. If they're gonna, if there's gonna be other Star Wars stories that maybe has Darth Vader in it, and just getting him to record them now. Or you know what? Here's the thing, dude read the Bible. We've probably got a collection of him saying almost
Enough
all the words
words.
in the English language.
Oh my
So
gosh, you could
you can just
composite
put
it
it back
in.
together. Yeah.
Is mixing hard, Corey?
No, it's really easy.
Okay,
Chris.
cool.
Anyone can do it. I could probably let my 11-year-old child edit the next Star Wars movie that has James Earl Jones' voice in it.
Sweet. Have him get on that. This is the only one that I haven't watched with my oldest. She's seen all the rest of them, and it's a little too intense. There's a lot of sacrifice going on, and
Not the happiest of endings.
that's it. There's no like they do win, but it's the Pyrrhic victory,
Good,
and I don't
good-
know if she's ready for Pyrrhic victories yet.
Good,
So-
strong female role model, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She
That's-
loves Jin. She
That's the
doesn't
saddest
even,
part to me is that like they created so many cool characters that we can't see in more things. you
Yeah,
know?
I know.
Well,
Well, let's see here. You got a Jin Erso drawing, Chirrut drawing. Chirrut and Baze are above my head. I got Baze action figure right there. Jin Erso's right there. K2SO's right there. I literally have everything from Rogue One.
Yeah.
Minus Krennic's shuttle. That's the only thing I don't have.
Yeah.
So, like I love this movie,
I was thinking too, like a lot
and
of
I have seen all the Star Wars movies. Spoiler
X-wings, a lot of X-wing ships are drawn from this. There's the Reaper and the
Striker.
Striker. Ghost. Well, I think Ghost comes from more of the cartoons, but Ghost is in this.
For a
Ghost-
split second,
Yeah, real
they
quick.
call for General Zendula, and you
Yeah.
see Chopper for 2 seconds.
Yeah, and then
yeah. Do we actually see Hera?
No, they say her name,
Yeah, I heard her name.
and then you see Chopper for a split
Okay, I missed
second.
Chopper.
Yeah,
the
like
blue
you-
X-wings?
Matt Friel sent out a clip like, here's the ghost in all the Star Wars movies, and it's in a lot of them
Yeah,
for like blink and
Split
you
second.
miss it.
Lincoln. What was one of the Red 5 dies. So you see how Luke comes in
Luke
as
gets
Red
his spot,
5.
yeah.
I love that they bring in the old footage.
it's old footage from New Hope,
Yeah, stay on target.
which is cool. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, the blue X-wings are in this, which I've never seen it. Well, they actually intended to have them in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
But because a lot of the work they had to do back then was done on blue screen,
Yeah.
that the blue wouldn't
the blue
show
wouldn't
up,
work
so they
out.
couldn't have the blue X-wings.
The Hammerhead Corvette, I want a Lego set of the
Corvette
the,
scene is so
Hammerhead
Freaking
Corvette.
cool,
Yeah.
man.
So, I have an idea, General Raddick.
We've
Yeah.
seen a lot of Star Wars space
Admiral.
battles.
Admiral.
Isn't he an admiral?
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
We've seen a lot of cool Star Wars space battles in all the other movies, but this was the first time we saw like that tactic used, where like you have a reinforced nosed ship that can
Yeah.
just ram into things.
So
And it slides it into
Pushing
the
a
other one and
Star
cuts
Destroyer.
it in half. It was so fucking cool.
We're just nerding out on
Hey,
like
we
Star Wars
are.
stuff right now.
Well, it's what it
So
is.
that's how they-
It's a love letter to Star Wars as well,
sure.
because they didn't have to. They knew they were going to kill everyone off. They didn't have to worry about anything.
But it's like, this is how you make a movie when you have already an IP that has a huge fan base.
Yeah.
And you want to like tell a good story, but also service the fan base. Like, this is how you do
Well,
it. So many writers screw it up and
Yeah.
they just do dumb things.
You guys did see that, after Rise of Skywalker, they're taking a break for 2 years on Star Wars. And then the showrunners of Game of Thrones got themselves a trilogy.
David Benioff and D.B. Weiss.
Looking forward to the first 4 seasons.
But like, what do you guys think they're going to go Old Republic? Do you think they're going to go super future from this.
I would love to see Old Republic.
I
So,
think
like-
that they need to go back. Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna go like full like Knights of the Old Republic. I don't think they're gonna follow that. I think they're gonna go back in time though too to maybe the Mandalorian Wars.
Like pre-Revan.
I think they're gonna go because Revan fought, and like maybe you lead into Revan. You give him like the reveal of Thanos. You go full MCU.
Sure.
And then you had the redemption of Revan, and like have a full movie about Revan. And it's canonically, is Revan female or male? It's canonically.
Male, I think.
I think,
But
right?
here's the thing, though. Like, would you be forced to have a redemption of Revan? Because my Revan wasn't redeemed at the end.
That's
Mine-
true.
Mine either.
I took over the Starforge and
Oh no,
Yeah.
mine was like
made a bunch of ships. that
I
were
did.
up
I
for
did
me.
end up with Bastila, but I also was a good Jedi.
No,
I
I went straight evil.
The prodigal Jedi.
Yeah, I love it. Anyway, canonically, I think they would probably go good, just because that would
Yeah.
make a really compelling story, obviously. But you still would have evil Revan going around killing everybody.
Now, I
so
will
you
say-
get both.
Those two guys, when they have source material to work with, they're pretty good.
That's it. So that's what I think. I think they're going to be able to adapt. Anyway,
Yeah.
super nerding out, but I think they're going to go old. Or the other way they could go is into the far future from the Skywalker saga, and everything about that would be like it'd go into full myth.
Yeah.
Where like it's like you hear of these things and like and like it gets distorted and cool. Anyway, I don't know. Either way, I'm really excited.
And it'd be cool if they tied it into our universe as well. Like at the end of the movie, like
They show up on Earth.
a male and a female crash land on Earth, and then they repopulate it or something. That'd be cool. Then
And that's why I have why I have my lightsaber. That's just really good though.
I thought it was cool that it was new technology that we hadn't seen in Star Wars yet, but it was sort of like a nod to Spaceballs, which was the planet shield, the shield all over the entire planet with one gate coming and going.
Oh yeah.
I think
Well,
that's
you know what the code is, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, that's the kind of thing an idiot would put on his luggage.
Same code as my luggage.
Boom. I miss
I
Mel
love when
Brooks.
they relate 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3,
Wait,
5.
God.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
She's gone from suck to blow.
They don't have spoofs anymore. They really
Mel
don't.
Brooks just got too old, but Mel Brooks did a lot
It was like
of
the
funny
scary
spoofs.
movies and stuff like
They're
that.
not
guess,
the same though. They aren't. They're different. Like those are too dumb. The Mel Brooks ones.
I'm
were-
sure Mel Brooks was dumb too to the adults at the time, but we were kids and we thought it was hilarious.
My grandpa.
I've never seen History of the World.
It's okay.
Is it okay? It seems like it's funny.
The pacing.
funny.
It's
got
funny.
some moments.
The best one. I don't know what the best one is.
Well, Young Frankenstein is the best, but it's not a spoof.
Was Blazing Saddles his?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. My dad showed me that. That was one moment
Young
where like
Frankenstein is kind of a spoof. I think High Anxiety actually is the best one. High
never
Anxiety
saw
is
that one.
it's very good.
That's like Vertigo, right?
Yeah, it's basically Vertigo, and he does like a song. He sings in it. It's very funny. Cloris Leachman, of course, is in it, and she's incredible. The whole he uses the same family. Man, he did use the same family, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of those guys. I love that. Rogue One's a masterpiece. It
is.
really is. It's going to go down for a long time as one of the top 3 Star Wars of all time, for sure.
For that one home tree who hasn't seen it, watch Rogue One.
Yeah.
Guess what? It leads right into episode 4.
yeah.
Straight into it. They did come out with the Tantive blockade runner, and I need to get that too. There's a couple Stranger
They,
Things.
Lego.
Not
Okay.
Lepin. Actually, Lepin had one out for a long time. I did not buy it because I knew they were going to
The
re-release it.
Tantive, is it the 4?
Yeah.
Tantive 4?
Yeah.
That was an epic ship for X, or I guess it still is an epic ship for X-Wing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I need to play X-Wing again. Well, I'm going to have a little more free time.
Yeah. Start collecting
After
different
the
ships.
summer
There's a lot of
is-
different factions you can pick up now because there's
Yeah.
like 7, 8 of them now. I don't even know.
6 factions at least.
Yeah.
I don't get that sweet Patreon money.
Rebel,
coming out.
Imperial, Scum, First Order. What's the new guys? The new good guys?
I don't know, man. I haven't keeping
Resistance.
up.
Resistance.
Yeah. Okay.
And then Separatists and Republic?
Maybe.
Something like that? I don't know.
Funny
I will make it legal in the Senate.
funny aside. So Anthony Daniels, the guy who originally played
C-3PO.
C-3PO,
Yeah.
he was somewhat disgruntled at Alan Tudyk because Alan Tudyk now has the luxury of doing a motion capture suit instead of being
Yeah, I
actually
know.
in the robot.
Yeah.
And so I guess he had said something like, just jokingly was like, fuck you, Alan Tudyk. And so Alan Tudyk whatever, Tudyk.
You got this.
I know. I don't know why it came out as
You
Tiddick.
got this.
I said I mumble.
All about them titties.
Anyways, he says getting an FU from Anthony Daniels is like the highest compliment I could ever receive.
Absolutely. No, yeah.
Alan Tudyk is a treasure.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
He is
He's
great.
moved into such a smart thing that he did. Like, oh, I'm going to just do voices and get paid a lot of money to do it.
Well, him and who's the guy who does Gollum?
Andy Serkis.
Circus, yeah.
Andy Serkis, though, has to put a lot more work in because he does like
Acrobatics and
everything.
stuff.
He does
Yeah.
like, I hope Andy Serkis gets a Lifetime Achievement Award eventually for his work, an Oscar.
His contribution to all these movies.
He should have gotten something for the Planet of the Apes series. If not Gollum, I mean, the Planet of the Apes, like the emotion, everything that like Caesar conveys is just
Amazing.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Until you see it not in mocap and you see James Franco and him like snuggling when it's just him in his mocap suit and it's very awkward looking because it's him like snuggling.
That was a super satisfying trilogy.
Cool. Well, Matt Reeves did it, and Matt Reeves is brilliant, and he is now doing the next Batman movie with Pattinson. Robert Pattinson just got announced as the new
I heard
Batman.
that. The internet's upset.
The internet
When is
Internet's
the
upset.
internet not upset
Exactly,
about
that's just
something?
everything they could tell
The
you.
status quo for the internet. At this
I know,
point.
yeah. I'm gonna like I'm taking a break from social media for a while once we stop because
Yeah.
it's all just hate.
Exhausting.
I think I'm going to take even more of a break
Yeah.
from social media.
But like here's the thing, Robert Pattinson is a very good actor. Have you seen him in anything else? He's really good. He's great as Diggory. Like he's a good actor. No one hated Twilight more than him. He hated it. He thought it was garbage. He knew it was beneath him. And
It's work though.
and that's it. He knows
You're an actor.
and he
You
knew
gotta
that.
get your
he
name
knew
out
he
there.
needs to get money. But like he's good and he's handsome and he's very cool.
I
Which
liked
is
Ben Affleck's Batman, though.
I did too. I also like Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck's pretty old. I mean,
And this is a young
he's got, like,
Batman.
50 years
Yeah.
old. Right?
This is supposed to be young Batman.
Yeah.
And it's like people got to get over themselves. My favorite thing that people are doing right now is that they're showing everything everyone said about Heath Ledger when Heath Ledger got cast as the Joker. And it's just like,
Wrong.
wrong. It's like, oh, you were wrong. Give it a chance.
Yeah.
Sure.
You get somebody that knows what they're doing. Christopher Nolan knew what he was doing
Yeah.
when he did Batman.
Knows what he was
Matt
doing.
Reeves knows what he's doing when he knows what he's
I don't
doing.
judge anything. Like I said, I didn't really care. I was like, okay, they chose Pattinson. We'll see what he does with it. Like
You never know until you
I
see
judge it. Yeah, once I see it.
Take a deep breath, re-examine your life's priorities. If that is something
that's
that
what it is.
fills you with rage,
Yeah.
you're doing something wrong.
There's something going wrong in their life that they have their priorities mixed up. That like what
I'm
happens
getting
in media, in movies or TV,
Yeah.
like that affects your life individually. No, these are
Now-
entertainment products.
That
If
said,
they don't entertain you, don't watch them.
that said, if this new Dune is not good, I'm gonna fucking kill everybody.
See, I'm just
Everybody
like-
on the planet will die. This
You're gonna
better
take
be
all their water.
It better be fucking good.
I know.
Yes.
He will change it to a desert planet where finally,
I will kill the spice.
and if you walk without the rhythm, you don't attract the
I
worm.
actually did go back and listen to that.
It's
It's totally
is it,
in there.
is
Yeah.
it crazy? Yeah.
And I realized I messed up. So it's weapon of choice, and we were
Weapon
saying,
of choice.
We were
Yeah, we
saying
could not
like the
say
new
it.
weapon.
Yeah.
It's weapon of choice, and I messed up, and I think I sang the wrong song. It was a different.
Yeah,
Fatboy
you
Slim
did.
song I
Well, we
was
didn't
thinking
know what
of.
we were doing, though. Yeah, I just told you, like, it's the one with
No,
Mr.
it was-
Walking Dancing.
I had the lyrics wrong.
Oh.
I was saying you can get with this or you can get with that, and it's something else. It's like you can.
It was fine.
You
I was
can,
okay.
You can gronk with this or you can grok with that.
it's Fatboy Slim. Who cares about the
No one
lyrics?
cares.
Nobody's like, oh, who's a really good lyricist? Fatboy Slim.
He literally took random words from Dune and just threw them there. You know what would be
Yeah.
cool? Someone's going to get this 15 years after I release the song, and they're going to talk about it on a podcast.
But a lot of what he does is sampling from older music.
Oh,
So
yeah,
was that
yeah.
a lyric, like a recording of some lyrics that already existed on a different
I
song?
don't know. Yeah. I want to change something that I said a while back ago is when the Sonic thing. I now understand that we cannot give fans power. And I feel like with the Sonic thing, it might have been a whole marketing thing. But now I wish you were right, Cory. I wish they just would have left it the same.
I know.
Because like now I see it like, oh, I thought it was cool at first, but now I see everybody's signing petitions now. And I just feel like I feel like, oh, this is out of hand now. Because a person is smart.
Yeah.
People are stupid.
Exactly. And that's
Yeah.
what drives me nuts about the human race is that like we should get collectively smarter, but we just get dumber. It's just
Yeah.
this mob mentality thing going on.
But anyway,
like,
so I don't.
What bothers me too is like people are like, okay, so since we're talking about fans being upset, people are upset with Game of Thrones right now, right? And there's a petition on change.org.
But the thing is, not everybody's upset. A lot of people like what's going on.
There's a petition on change.org, and they already have pretty much 1 million signers to this petition to redo season 8, right?
Did you see that the writers did a petition of their own
Yeah, to
have them write their own dang show?
But the thing is like, why do people get so moved to action on stuff like this when there are like
pointless.
literally there are children who are starving in the world, there are people who can't get like adequate housing, like
Flint, Michigan still has bad water,
and collect money for something that matters.
Yes.
There are children who are being burned by dragons.
Thanks for getting back up, buddy. That was good. Yeah, I love Rogue One. I could talk about it all day.
I know.
There's
There's
nothing wrong with it. There really isn't.
My first note was just perfection. It's a perfect movie.
It really is.
I like how it was like a lot of people made a big deal. Oh, it's very multi-culti. There's a Mexican guy. There's like a Middle Eastern guy. Sure, there are. It doesn't feel like, oh, we better shoehorn some ethnic people in here. No.
That's how it's supposed to
character
be.
Feels so real, and you're so interested in every character's story. It's not.
I wanted an alien.
There's a token Asian guy.
I did want an alien throwing in there. I know they had K2 in there. I wish there was one more. No, I'm being serious. I wish there was one more alien.
No one's complaining
in the
about
mix.
Where are the brown people, but where are the purple people?
Yeah,
that's it. That's it. You're missing the bigger picture.
Where are my green ninjas at?
Chewie was in there. You got to have a Chewie, and it might just be that it would have been way too sad to watch them die. If you watch Chewbacca die on screen, you're gonna rage. Like you can't watch. You can see Han die. You can see other people die, but if Chewie dies on screen, that's bad. Anyway, I just wish there was an alien. That's it. But like that's just nitpicking. Like that's like this is what I would have done. It's
like Warwick Davis is in this. He's one of Saw's guys. So
there are aliens in it. I wish an alien.
There's none like on the rogue.
The two dudes from the cantina were in there.
Yeah.
And they say the exact same line, which I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah, they were funny. I forget Doctor something and Big Nose.
So they're both aliens. Because one of them, even the one that looks like a human, he has a furry arm.
I know that there are aliens in this movie. I wanted a main character to be an alien.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
You didn't get that.
I'm well aware that there are aliens in this movie. They're all aliens.
There's androids and aliens.
Yeah. Androids and aliens.
I mean,
shut your filthy mouth.
Admiral Raddus, what else do you want? He dies.
Right. Thank you. You're right. I do want more.
As long as the rebellion has a Mon Calamari admiral, things are going to be okay.
So true, isn't it?
That's all they need.
Just
Those dudes are badass. They were the only ones who wanted to go in and fight. Everybody else was like, we should give up. We should disband.
I'm gonna
press the attack.
Now here's something that
wait, it's a scrap. It's a scrap.
It's a scrap.
Here's something that might be controversial. I think I like Admiral Raddus better than Admiral Akbar.
He gets it done, man. He dies.
He's like he doesn't. He
doesn't die. Does he
I
die?
like their ships a lot. Like they got that. That dome of glass.
That's their houses.
His
I know
ship,
they can look down.
Know,
and
it's
like
so cool.
That's a cool scene.
His ship gets disabled. Like the Tantive launches out of it.
That's right. So they may or may not.
And since there's no Admiral Raddus in the other ones,
that's so true.
That scene where like the Star Destroyer like warps in and they're trying to warp out and they crash. So fucking
good.
cool.
And why the beautiful?
It's so good.
And you got the beautiful music playing the whole time.
Yeah,
it's mournful, but like a little too happy. It's almost
because it's hopeful.
It's hopeful.
I don't remember what it was for that, but my closed captioning will handily say like thrilling music.
It's not thrilling.
You got your iPad, but we're not done talking about this. We still have 30 more minutes to talk about Rogue One.
No, I'm just getting ready.
The one thing I did want to say, which I thought was kind of cool, was from very early on, like the early concepts, what they did is they took old World War II photographs and Vietnam photographs, and they would take the soldiers that were, hiking through areas. They would take their helmets and superimpose like Star Wars type helmets and stuff on them to make some of the concept art and put Star Wars guns and stuff.
Love it.
And then that's what they were showing around. Everybody's like, that's amazing. Like that's the theme. That's the style of the movie we need to go for. So it had that very like you're down in the trenches with these guys, fighting.
Yes. That's one of the things I liked in Solo was when you saw the mud troopers. Like not everyone's just like plain white trooper.
That was a cool scene in Solo, for sure.
I really, really liked that. Like not everybody, there are ground troopers that aren't just in all pure white.
These troopers are effective too.
Yes.
Like they hit things. Like they're a formidable. Well, and like everybody's
then you
die,
have the necro troopers, you have the sand troopers,
the death troopers.
Yeah.
Death troopers are
critics.
badass.
Yeah. God, I love this movie.
Just that opening scene when they're marching through the field at the
Yes.
beginning. Krennic's white cape is going.
Yeah.
And we don't talk enough about Ben Mendelsohn, but he's incredible.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's great. There's literally nothing you could cut from this movie. Like there's no fat on this
it's
movie,
so good.
right? It's so good. I
All
love the imagery of
It's
all
very
of the
tight. It's very tight.
on Jeddah, all of the toppled over statues of
Yeah,
the
so cool.
Force users,
And they just are using like a small
the Jedi.
And plus, it does the thing. It fixes something that George Lucas screwed up. Like,
Yeah.
why would there be an exhaust port? Because the designer of it put it in there.
Yeah.
And because George Lucas is honestly, in all as far as I know, he's a moron, right?
He's
Like-
give him a lot of shit, but
Yeah.
when he saw the early screenings of this movie, he told him like, "I love it. It's perfect."
Yeah,
you know,
because
and,
it's a good
he's-
movie.
and
He's
that was huge for them.
He's an awesome big picture dude.
For sure.
When it comes to
I
like
mean, he created this world.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we got to give him credit for that.
No, I know, but
when
like,
it comes to dialogue, like individual dialogue and little details like that, not his strong
no, he
suit.
doesn't
Yeah.
keep. Yeah, so like
He's a world builder.
Yeah.
So this is one of those times when like, oh, it's a prequel done right, prequel / sequel.
Yeah.
Like they,
And I
they-
can sympathize with that because I always feel like, man, I come up with cool ideas for like novels. I'm like, I should write a novel,
but you
I
need someone
know.
to actually get down in the trenches.
And I always thought, like, man,
Yeah.
I should partner with Donnie. Like, we should be like a writing team because I feel like I do good, like, big
So you
stories.
have the easy job and he has the hard job.
No, but like,
That'd be a big switch of our
I feel
normal
like I really
routine.
like writing like these big worlds and how everything kind of works together.
Yeah.
But like the individual scenes where you develop the character through dialogue, like I'd suck at that. I'm terrible.
CJ's
I
probably
need,
the
I
guy
need
you
somebody else to like co-write with me to make a good novel.
Yeah.
Speaking of co-writers, I did pick up the first two Expanse.
Yeah, I want to read those novels
What's
too.
the name? It's like C.A. Anthony.
James S.A. Corey.
Yeah, James. That's right. Yeah,
It's two guys.
Yeah,
I don't
it's two guys.
know
They
what
just
their
gave-
I don't
and they
remember what
gave
their
their-
actual names are, but
it's very smart and it definitely like it works well.
Yeah.
Take note, George R. Get
get
Brandon
a partner who keeps you on the ball.
Get a partner that knows how to actually write and you keep big picture. Ooh, that's a good idea.
Some say that he's even just sitting on his novels waiting until the show's done so he can then have the novels come out and be better than the way the show ends.
Yeah.
He might be.
You're saying that like he's like crowdsourcing right now?
Oh.
Like or not crowdsourcing. He's
test marketing.
He's focus grouping. Yeah, he's focus grouping.
Corey and I had this discussion at work. Like he's just no, that people didn't like that, so that's not going to happen.
Pull that as a
Interesting.
eraser and just
If that is true, that's
brilliant.
real
He's
good.
still making all the money off of it.
That is so smart.
Okay, Danny does not burn down King's Landing.
Exactly.
Or if she does, we need to take an entire book to talk about
That's a
why she
spoiler alert
does.
too. Hope you guys have already watched that
They've
episode.
watched it. They're good.
Yeah,
the
by the
finale.
time
By the time this comes out,
airs,
the
like,
finale
yeah.
will have already aired.
Yeah,
So they're good.
for sure. Yeah.
It's good.
Our last time we're going to be doing this, we do subjectively gooder. Are these three movies better than the last three movies we did? So we did Ex Machina, Annihilation, Sucker Punch. Very very enjoyable movies. This one had Roadhouse, which you guys hated. Brick, which is like we're on the fence about, and then it has Roadhouse, which Rogue
Yeah,
One.
I like Brick too.
Rogue One, which is we call it a masterpiece.
Yeah.
But man, there was Annihilation, and for me, Annihilation and Ex Machina are very good movies.
As
Well,
a
I
set
like-
of movies,
I like Sucker
say,
Punch too.
As a
Yeah.
set of movies, the previous episode was subjectively better, even though I think the Star Wars Rogue One was better than any of those movies.
I'm gonna go with this one. This one is better.
Did you like Roadhouse? You son of a bitch.
I like Roadhouse. Yeah, I like Roadhouse, and I did enjoy. I thought Brick was good.
Yeah.
I thought Brick was good,
Yeah.
and
And
Ex Machina
You
Annihilation.
like Roadhouse more than you like Sucker Punch. You're saying.
100%.
What, you're,
Wow, I'm glad
It's not
this
even
show
close.
is dying.
And here's the
Yeah.
thing. Here's the thing.
I'm glad this is over.
The
I don't want to see you
masses,
again.
the masses will agree with me on that too. You're gonna
Apparently,
see it.
we got a lot of
Yeah.
comments
Yeah, I know.
about a lot of hate on Sucker Punch.
We all know how I feel about the masses.
I'm just saying.
They're fucking dumb.
Yeah, I know.
So
that
that
was-
doesn't surprise me.
This was fun. All right. Okay. And here we go. We're moving on.
My final answer is I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Yeah, I know. These are tough ones. We've done some really good movies lately too. Honestly, I'm going to say it again. Since the the Mike and Morgan episode, we've been really focused on trying to do movies that we like. Like that we can actually enjoy.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
I
sure.
enjoyed Miami Connection.
No, I know. And I'm glad
Samurai
we watched
Cop.
him.
I
because-
hated Troll 2.
Yeah, I'm glad we watched him. I'm just saying, like, if we're going to sit down and actually
Yeah.
have to watch them.
I unironically enjoyed Samurai Cop and Miami Connection.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed to say it.
It's good.
We don't declare each other the winners here at MGT. That's for you guys, mainly you guys, and the Galactic Senate to decide. But we do think someone should win or lose, and that's where we have gooder, badder, fugly. All right, Cory, your last winner.
Last winner is Chris, Donnie, and Cory.
Oh my gosh, you did it. You son of a bitch.
We ultimately won by putting our nonsensical humor out there to the world and getting a positive, response, a positive feedback from everybody that we thanked on the last episode. Every comment was very touching. Every comment and tweet and Facebook comment and voicemail, it was all just really touching. So we win, guys.
We totally
This has
win.
nothing to do with the movies, but as my last winner, it's us. We won.
Fuck that. Patrick Swayze lost. He lost my respect.
We didn't do losers yet. We're doing winners.
Winners is definitely out of these three. Dalton wins. He finally found a home. He gets to raw dog Kelly Lynch, and Bill Murray gets to talk about it every time.
Dolph Lundgren.
And then Dolph Lundgren, and then
the rebellion
he gets away with.
wins.
He gets away with. The rebellion's like reduced to like 40 people right now.
But we know they win.
I know you are right
because of the events of Rogue One.
I know. Okay, fine. I'll go meta. I'll go meta. We win.
The galaxy wins.
Yeah, it's true. No, Dalton. Dalton wins. Gets paid lots of money just to chill, and there's no like real animosity now in the town. You guys got losers?
I do.
Yeah, what's your loser?
My loser is Chris,
Cory,
Donnie, and Cory. Because now we're going to lose all that love that the fans have been giving us for 3 years.
I still feel it every day.
Yeah, weekly affirmation from people is very nice.
Yeah.
Also, though, it's really nice not to get like told that your opinions suck. And have that put on air, and then people hear that. That's going to be really nice. Like, my opinions are my own now. I don't have to worry about anybody. Yeah. It's really nice.
You know what I think of that sentiment?
I nailed it.
Meta.
Losers? Oh, yeah.
Chris,
Cory,
Donnie, and Cory is mine, yeah.
What about you, Don?
I didn't think about it.
Yeah, I know, right? It's so much. We are emotional wrecks right now. Yeah. Like emotional wrecks. Losers. Let's see. Star Wars fans that died before Rogue One came out.
Right.
They didn't get to see it. And then
they had to die knowing that the new trilogy that came out in the early 2000s was the prequel trilogy was the end of Star Wars.
Oh my gosh, you're right. People who died after the trilogy.
They're what Dante would call the virtuous pagans.
The virtuous pagans. They're on the first. It's not so bad.
Yeah.
It's not great. It's not bad though. This is nice.
Yeah.
Not good.
It's chill.
Bad. They did a Family Guy. They did a scene where they took a vacation to Limbo, and they go Limbo, and he goes, "This is okay. Not bad. It's not good."
Are you familiar with the virtuous pagans?
No.
When Dante wrote the Inferno, like the first level of hell are the people who existed before Christ. So like they didn't get to get saved by him, but they're good folk.
Yeah.
So they get to hang out in a pretty cool place.
It's not bad.
Okay.
So
that's cool.
Read a book, Cory.
I tried reading Paradise Lost, or what is that it's called?
No,
when I had
the Inferno. Paradise Lost is Milton, which is far better.
I'm saying he's telling me to read a book. I'm saying I tried to read something like that. It's like classic, and it's hard.
They're not enjoyable.
Paradise Lost is amazing.
I had an entire class on
I like
Milton.
a synopsis of it. Like I've read like the Wikipedia synopsis because that's great. But like actually just reading the poetry is like that's just tough.
I would say
the language.
I liked Paradise Lost better than Dante.
Mm-hmm.
But
for sure.
Dante's very like political. There's like actual like people from his time that like he's calling out.
I don't like you.
Yeah.
Like if you wrote right now, Trump would be like in the circle. Like everybody's like, I don't like that guy.
Of everybody
There's
that he
things
dislikes.
about the Inferno that are like bitchy.
I don't like that. Bronto's in there now. Like he made fun of us. That's actually pretty close. Yeah. Fuglies? You guys got some fuglies?
Chris, Donnie.
Oh, you win. He did it.
When we're done crying over how sad we are, we're gonna have like snot coming out.
Oh, it's gonna be gross.
Tears. Yeah, we're gonna be fugly.
Ooh, yucky.
I'm fine. If I had to pick a fugly, it'd probably be
Borgullet. Oh, it's a parasite that reads your brain.
It reminds me of the things from Galaxy Quest when they come in with their little tentacles.
Ooh, we need your help.
very sensual though.
Yeah.
Then when he's scanning your mind.
That's a sexy now. We should have a sexy. Good or bad or sexy. Ooh, yeah. I don't really have any fuglies.
Melly was like,
There's a lot of really gross people in the Double Deuce.
Melly would say Felicity Jones. She's like, she's not an attractive woman. I go, no, she is. I showed her picture.
What?
She goes, oh no, she is. I go, look, here she is not as Jin. She goes, okay, she's super attractive.
Even as Jin, she's beautiful.
So pretty.
There are some moments where I'm like, she's not supposed to be glamorous.
No.
No.
Doesn't matter. I don't need
tough.
glamour.
Yeah.
She's tough and like
There are some instances where she's not super attractive in this movie.
eyes. All lies.
But I mean,
I don't see it. And in fact, when I was watching it, I was actually thinking like, I wish they would have cast her for the new trilogy of Star Wars instead of. I'm not a big fan of.
Oh, I love Daisy Ridley.
Daisy Ridley. I'm not a big fan of her.
I think she's great. No, Jin would have been great too. They're both very strong.
Yeah.
I like them both.
Yeah, I like them both.
And I'm super stoked. Like Daisy Ridley jumping over that fucking TIE interceptor.
excited.
Like,
Yeah.
I can't wait for that.
Well, I know
know.
we had this discussion already. Is it a TIE silencer? Or is it like a first order interceptor? Whatever it is, fucking awesome.
I know, right? Yeah. It has a name in the Lego set. I'm not going to say it because it actually does have some spoilers in there.
Well, it's not TIE silencer?
No, it's called something else.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that because that means
New X-Wing ship.
New ship.
Yeah, I know.
That's like an interceptor.
Maybe I'll show you off air. I got to find it and show it to you.
You assume it might not function like an interceptor.
Yeah.
But it looks like one.
It most certainly will.
I was talking about it with Chomo because like Endgame,
Hopefully to be like the special forces where like shoots out the back too or something.
Yeah.
everything right now has been about Endgame until
Boost
Endgame.
and white barrel.
We're
roll
talking X-Wing,
every-
Chris.
I know, yeah, I know. No, because with it's
Yeah, it's just
germane
got
to
like
this.
7 actions it can do.
No red actions.
Oh my
Multiple
gosh.
Yeah,
actions.
Amazing.
linked actions into other like blue
Yeah.
actions.
So Lego set that's coming out real soon. Just get into my own thing. What it is. So Chomo and me were talking about it. That like everybody's been super about Endgame, and Endgame delivered on every level that I really wanted. I loved every minute of it.
Totally agree.
It was amazing.
Very
It was-
agree.
It was so good.
Having not even been a big MCU fan and watching all the movies, I thoroughly enjoyed Endgame. It was
Yeah,
tight.
absolutely. Endgame was a masterpiece. I loved every minute of it. But everyone's been very MCU, and then like you kind of forgot that we're going to get another Star Wars movie this year.
Yeah.
And then the trailer comes out when I saw Endgame, and I'm just like, oh, that's right. There's something left to be pumped about. And so anyway, yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
We saw
Obviously, we're stalling right now.
when we saw Endgame
For
and
what
like
reason? Just because it's our last few moments with
Yeah,
you.
I know. Yeah.
when the Lucasfilm thing came up, I was like nudging Melly. She's like, I don't.
She's half asleep.
She's like, I
wakes
don't
up
care
and-
as much as you, but
Yeah.
yes, we will go see that. Obviously.
Oh man, my oldest was just like, Daddy, do we get to see it first night? Yes, baby. Let's go first night. She's my little Star Wars buddy. She'll dress up as
I was gonna say she better go as Ray, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for my
absolutely,
oldest,
yeah.
like it's honestly been an exciting time because all this Star Wars content coming
There's
out
stuff you
that
can
like
watch together and both be excited about.
and all the MCU stuff. Like he's
Yeah.
just like, Dad, can we go see that? Yeah, we'll go see it
Absolutely.
when you can get tickets because it took us a week and a half to get. No, a week and a weekend.
Well, I saw it by myself the first time,
Yeah.
and then Elise went by herself the second. We couldn't get babysitting, and
Yeah.
Infinity War was a little too much for the girls.
Yeah.
Just watching like literally everybody die was a little
heavy.
A little heavy. But now Endgame was much more triumphant. I don't know. We're going to Endgame. Okay. Well, that's gonna do it for us.
What's next?
Yeah, what's next? I know.
Enjoy next week's episode.
Enjoy next week's episode. I would normally give the whole spiel, but like honestly, it's not very necessary.
No.
And bye from me, Chris. I'll see you next week for the finale. Thank you to everybody. It's bye from me, Chris and Cory.
In case I don't see you again, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Ooh, that's so good. And Donnie.
Lates.
This was a podcast from the Podfix Network. You can check out more shows like it at podfixnetwork.com.
people gave $20, that's $20 million. That's enough to film the season.
An episode?
They could just film like a 3-hour like movie, conversion and just like, I don't know, retcon some things. But I actually read one of my favorite theories, which I think will just be hilarious. And I pray that they do this. The theory is that Bran is evil. Okay. The Night King, he turned the babies by touching them.
Yeah.
He turns the dragon by touching them. Everything he turns, he touches them. He's touched Bran. In the dream sequence or whatever, in the weird, green seer thing.
That's true.
But he has touched Bran. So he possibly turned Bran, maybe even transferred his consciousness into Bran. And so what it is that the theory is that he actually, because Bran has the warging ability.
Right.
Bran warged into Drogon and burned King's Landing. I'm sorry, it's spoilers for you, but I know you don't watch it.
I've read everything.
Bran warged into Drogon and burned King's Landing. So Daenerys was mad. She was still going to go after Cersei in the Red Keep and burn that down. Because everyone says that would have been fine, but not the city, not the innocents.
Yeah.
And the dragon was making a beeline for the castle. And then all of a sudden just went down and started burning the streets, right? Bran's the one who had the vision of the dragon's shadow over King's Landing, right? So it'd be fitting that he is now the dragon.
I still think the Night King should have just destroyed everybody. I really do.
You never see Daenerys after she goes and starts burning everything. She could have been up there and like, Drogon, no! Like trying to stop him.
Yeah.
And Drogon... the Night King through Bran through Drogon is actually burning independently. And I would love it if that is the finale, that they explain that. So all this like this vitriol, these hurt feelings, people QQing, it would be so funny if like it just ends up that Daenerys is still good and she wasn't trying to do that. That was just Drogon going, he was being warged into by Bran.
My whole thing is no matter what, you're going to be disappointed because everyone has theories.
Yeah.
And your theory, if your theory doesn't work, you're going to be disappointed.
You can't do like a decade-long massive story arc show in the social media era.
No,
like,
you can't. It's just ridiculous. I hate everybody, and I wish social media didn't exist. Except for the fact that like I met a lot of friends.
People's points are valid. People's points are valid that it wasn't. There was no character growth to get her to that point. She's always spared innocence, and she's always punished the
But that's not true. She
power.
always said she's punishing them for them cheering on Missandei.
But they didn't. And that's what I've said. That's something that could have been 5 extra minutes of playtime on their episode that would have saved everything. If they would have beheaded Missandei in front of all of the people of King's Landing and they cheered. They weren't there. It wasn't on screen.
Yeah, it's true. I know. It's fine. Everything that I've read so far, it's like, oh yeah, this makes sense.
If they would have done that and then she raged immediately. She just turned around, all those voices in her head, she turns around, she gets on Drogon and then just starts raging. That would have been 100% fine.
Not that it would have impacted her personal decision, but people were pointing out at Imager like the same people that were getting burned, were cheering Ned's execution 10 years ago. So.
Yeah. But the children weren't. I mean, that's the thing is like there was like little girls and stuff that were being run down. At some point,
you could just got to say fuck the children.
Yeah.
Though.
We never say that out loud.
No.
Yeah. All right, let's get into this because it's a long time.
All right.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Ready?
Get some.
Okay. Get some?
Get some.